Would you notice if someone close to you was unleashing demons in your workplace for money? I never believed in ghosts until my stepbrother Marco started selling them to the highest bidder, and trust me, that is not a sentence I ever thought I would say out loud. The whole nightmare began 3 months after I inherited Grandma Rosalie's antique shop in downtown Portland. I had left my comfortable $65,000 a year curator position at the Oregon Historical Museum to honor her dying wish, keep the 40-year-old Westfield antiques running, and preserve what she called the family legacy. Looking back, I should have known something was wrong when customers started avoiding the shop like it was radioactive, but grief makes you blind to a lot of things. My name is Emma Westfield, and I am 31 years old, which means I am old enough to know better than to believe in supernatural nonsense, but apparently young enough to get scared out of my mind by things that go bump in the night. Before inheriting the shop, I spent 8 years cataloging historical artifacts and learning to spot authentic pieces from fakes, skills that proved surprisingly useful when dealing with paranormal investigators and cult members, though they never taught us about that part in museum school. Marco Sullivan is my stepbrother, 3 years older than me, and the kind of person who thinks everything can be solved with a good sales pitch and complete disregard for other people's feelings. His father married my mother when I was 12, which means I have had almost 20 years to watch him make terrible decisions and somehow blame everyone else when things go wrong. After college, he became a day trader, the kind who talks about cryptocurrencies at family dinners and always has a new get-rich-quick scheme that requires just a small loan to get started. When Grandma Rosalie passed away last November, she left the shop to me instead of Marco, which created the kind of family tension you could cut with a knife. The will specifically stated that she wanted someone who understood the historical value of the pieces, not someone who would sell them off for quick profit. Marco contested the will initially, but when his lawyer explained how ironclad Grandma's documentation was, he backed down and offered to help me run the business instead. That should have been my first red flag. The shop sits on a prime corner lot in the Pearl District, 3 stories of Victorian architecture that Grandma bought back in 1984 when the neighborhood was still affordable. The first floor houses the main showroom, filled with everything from Depression-era furniture to medieval tapestries. The second floor contains overflow inventory and restoration workspace. And the third floor was Grandma's apartment, which I moved into after quitting my museum job. The rent alone costs $8,750 per month, which means I need to clear over $35,000 every quarter just to break even, not counting utilities, insurance, and the dozens of other expenses that come with running a business. The total inventory is worth approximately $180,000, assuming I could find buyers for everything, which seemed increasingly unlikely as customers stopped showing up. During my first month running the shop,